Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Cackle. This is EntryPoint's weekly interview series where we highlight small businesses, startups, and people who are having an impact on communities across the Midwest. I'm Emily Heinz. I am the founder and managing director of EntryPoint. At EntryPoint, we partner with economic development organizations and nonprofits to foster inclusive and vibrant communities across the Midwest through research and community-focused programming. So today is week two of our special edition of the Cackle, which features small businesses from across the Midwest every Monday at 10:30 a.m. In addition to our regular Wednesday episode, we are going to be featuring three Midwest-based small businesses who have positively impacted their communities and contributed to the vibrancy of their local economies. And we want to just really celebrate them and encourage everyone to continue striving to shop locally, dine locally, and do business locally. And after each episode, viewers will have until Friday to share the video, like the video, and then go and select one of the featured companies to receive $1,000 in support of their continued growth. The link to do that is in the description of the video. And then the selected business will be announced the start of next Monday's episode. So if you have a favorite local business or are a small business owner yourself, just a quick heads up, we are still accepting applications for the special edition. It's on a rolling basis, so you've not missed anything. So you can just, we'll put the link in the comments to the video where you can go to find out more information about applying. Super small, quick application. And then we also want to take a minute to thank our sponsors, DTE Energy Foundation, Lightship Capital, Jobs Ohio, World Business Chicago, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation are all helping support and spread the word about this initiative and reach more small businesses. So today we're excited to announce the business from last week's episode that was selected by our viewers as their favorite local business. It's also great because you can submit reasons why you love them so much, and those were like so heartwarming to read. So I really encourage everyone to submit a lot of like comments and kudos to the businesses. And then we're going to continue our special edition by talking to the owners of Motor City Women's Studios, Sweet Bean Chocolates, and Aaron Christopher Events. So if you have any questions or shout outs during the interview, feel more than free to put them all in the comments. So as you all know, each week we speak to three local businesses, and you guys share the video and you vote by submitting the name of your favorite business. And the company that was selected is then given $1,000 to support the growth of their company. And so this week's company, I did a little video, is... I didn't know I was just going to go back to my face after. Yay!
Thank you so much. I was reading that like I was in tears. Like, oh, people love me. Thank you so much. No, seriously.
I was like during the video, and I was like just kept getting little tears, and I was like, "Don't cry during every episode of the Cackle." What?
Oh, so sweet.
Yay!
Like, I'm so grateful. So grateful. Thank you so much, Emily, and everybody for voting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's going to be put to great use.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited to see what you guys do. And like, I'm excited for the new shop to open and everything. And so I was like really pumped to like read all these things. And it's like really warms my entrepreneurship fangirl heart to see like small business owners leading. You're doing so awesome. So cool. Well, thank you so much. And I will have to check in with you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
See ya. I love it. So our first special guest joining us today is Robin Kinnie, who's the owner of Motor City Woman Studio located in Southfield, Michigan. Hey
Hello,
y'all!
morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you, Emily? Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. So for those of you that don't know, which you should, Motor City Woman Studios is a recording and production studio in Southfield, Michigan, founded by Robin Kinnie in 2016. She was an avid talk radio listener, and she saw the need for more diverse voices in broadcasting and podcasting. And her studio offers audiobook, podcast, and voiceover production with an emphasis on accurate media representation. But you're also like all over the place, business owner, power woman. So I love that. So give a little bit of background, like on your career and your business and like everything you do.
Sure. Well, again, thank you for having me. I'm a native Detroiter. So growing up in the early 80s, I listened to, or my mother listened to, a local broadcaster. Her name was Martha Jean the Queen. She not only had her own radio show, but she owned the radio station, which was unheard of for a woman, and especially a woman of color. And I think that really planted the seed, because I ended up going out to college and doing all these other things. But it seemed like that was always in the back of my head. Radio, talk radio specifically.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love that. Yeah, I feel like that is kind of like totally unheard of. Like,
Yeah.
the whole entire studio. That's crazy. So how do you feel like kind of things have changed in the last 18 months for you guys? Like so many people it seems like are like, I'm gonna start a podcast or do like I'm gonna call it the Cackle.
A lot has changed. So we've had Motor City Woman Studio since 2016. And, you know, it has grown tremendously and it has evolved. So we started as a digital radio station for women, hosted by women, covering a range of topics. But over time, we started incorporating other forms of media, audiobooks, voiceovers for commercials, podcasts. One of my proudest moments was listening to a traditional radio station and hearing a commercial that was produced here at Motor City Woman.
Oh, like, that is the kind of thing I would really like to. Like, you're like,
I know, it's like, wow, we're doing it. So really what we're committed to is making sure that people have access and opportunity to represent themselves in the media. It's really that simple.
Yeah, I've been seeing so much news about you lately. Also, I'm friends with Monica Wheat, and she's Robin Kinnie.
Monica is a gem. I know Monica for almost 30 years.
What?
Yeah, Monica and I, we went to school together. We met in middle school, so we've known each other for a long time. I love her to pieces.
Yeah, she's so great, and she's also like just such a great entrepreneurial cheerleader.
Yes.
And so, like I've been seeing all over her social media, she's been like, "Yeah, Robin." And, like,
I love her so much.
Talk a little bit about that, because you've been on like the news and like all of this stuff just recently.
Yeah, so I would say a few years ago, my partner and husband, Mike Kinnie, had this idea of an audio engineering training school. So we wanted to make sure there was a pipeline for the next generation of audio engineers. And what we did was we partnered with the Hannon Center in Midtown Detroit, like right across from Wayne State University, to create this teaching recording studio. And that launched actually a week ago today. We had the ribbon cutting. So people can go there and learn how to produce music, make beats and things of that nature. But it's also open to the community. Being community-based is very important to both of us. So Audio Engineers of Detroit fills that gap of people who want to look at audio engineering as a career path, but really don't know where to start.
Yeah. And it's that kind of, I mean, I do hear a lot about like people talking about how like a lot of diverse voices aren't represented in the media, and like a lot of like a lot of like news is lost because of that, because like local people in the community aren't kind of like the voices that you see on the news and things like that. Like, is that part of the issue? Is that kind of the broadcast, like people aren't going into that as a career?
Well, I think people aren't going into audio engineering as a career just because the lack of access and opportunity. That's why I'll circle back to again. So like, for example, you go to a concert and you see, you know, the person doing the sound and they got all these boards and stuff. Typically, that person is older. That person has been doing it for years and they knew someone who got them plugged in. So it's like, you know, it's like a who do you know? I was just in the room when this opportunity came about.
Yeah.
Well, what we want to do is we want to start creating more rooms so that more people can learn about this cool industry, whether it's touring with a band or like working at Little Caesars Arena. You know, there's so many different aspects of the industry that I think the creative community here in the Metro Detroit region could really benefit from.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So, you know, I like that you guys are like very supportive of diverse broadcasting and podcasting. Like, where can people go like to work with you guys? Like if they're not located in Michigan, because you guys are located in Southeast Michigan, like how do people like get engaged with you guys?
Well, you know, over the past year and a half with the pandemic, the pandemic really opened us up to a new world. Of course, since we weren't able to gather, we weren't able to have people physically come to the studio, it challenged us to think of creative ways to continue serving. So we always go back to how can we continue to serve and support? So we created this digital platform so people from across the world can maybe record in their homes, send it to us, and we edit it, clean it up, and we do all of the technical background for you. So you don't have to worry about, hey, how do I get my podcast on Apple? How do I make sure that my audiobook fits all the requirements for Amazon so I could sell it there? You know, we really focus on making it as easy as possible for more voices to be heard.
That's great. I love that. And then you guys with the new like school?
Yep. It's a school. Yep.
Well, how do people find out about like enrolling if they're interested in going there?
Well, registration and enrollment is open now. And the easiest way is to go to our website, and it's just AE Detroit, and that stands for Audio Engineers of Detroit.com. So AEDetroit.com. And the first set of classes starts at the end of this month. I can't believe it's August already, but
oh my gosh, yeah.
It starts at the end of this month. But the studio is also open to the community. So if you have a film project you're working on and you need a recording studio to record the score, or you know, you need to do any different types of other sound projects, that's what you can go to the studio for that. But I also want to note that a few years ago, I became the president of the Detroit chapter of an organization called Sound Girls. And Sound Girls is based in LA, and it is formed to encourage more women and girls in the audio industry, which is currently only made up 5% of women. So Sound Girls, we get together, we highlight different women within the industry, but also plug you into these networks so that you can learn more about the audio industry and get some opportunities.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. What is the website for that?
Soundgirls.org.
Oh, perfect. I also realized I was just putting you on the spot. What's the website for that? You're like,
I see. No, it's soundgirls.org.
That's awesome. What is like, I feel like right now a lot of people are kind of having these like, maybe I want a different career, or like, oh, this job has been terrible during the pandemic and they don't care about me at all. Me or my life.
Me at all.
So like I think we're going to start to see, just like after the last like recession, we're going to start to see a lot of people starting their own businesses. What advice would you give to someone who's kind of watching that's like, maybe I want to start my own business?
I would say that you only get experience when you start. You know, I know a lot of people who want to start their own businesses, and they're planning and they're doing all this research, but you're not going to learn until you start. You just have to start somewhere. And the Metro Detroit area is chock full of resources for entrepreneurs. So there's no lack of resources. You can't say, oh, well, I don't know where to go. They're shoving entrepreneurship everywhere.
This is true. Like sometimes I'm like, man,
there's a lot. there's a ton. You know, we work with, and I've personally worked with over the years, you know, the Build Institute. The Build Institute has done
Regina.
Yes, Regina Ann Campbell, who I've known for a long time.
What
I'm plugged in. And that's another thing, Emily. You have to get plugged in.
Yeah.
You have to get plugged in. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be in sometimes uncomfortable spaces and, you know, do a pitch presentation to get feedback.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to grow.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Is so true too. Like you just kind of don't even know what you don't know until you jump in, and then you just like
you could be plugging away doing something. It takes you hours, and someone could tell you, well, you know, there's this app. You know,
that's a really good point. They're like, have you ever tried Cancel before? And I'm like, you know, that would be much easier than using EntryPoint for everything.
But you won't know until you ask.
Yeah, that's so great. So why do you think it's really important for people to kind of be doing business locally?
It's very important. And we learned this, you know, through the pandemic, because local businesses are our neighbors. They're our community. And a neighborhood is made up of the local businesses. Because I know for me, we hire local. We support local nonprofit organizations. So when people support us, it gives us more resources to become a better neighbor. So, you know, when this pandemic happened, you know, I looked around and said, you know, what small businesses can I support every day? Because there's products and services that initially I was probably looking outside of the region, but I was like, no, we all have to, you know, hold on together to get through this. And, you know, that's a critical thing for all of us to do as neighbors.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I so agree. And there's like, I gained my whole, you know, COVID-19 or whatever people are calling it, the amount of weight they gained during the that all to local.
Let's not talk about that, Emily. Let's not talk about that.
We're all emerging back into society. I'm like, oh shoot, none of my clothes fit other than my sweatpants.
Let's not talk about that, Emily. Let's just move on. I was just looking at, speaking of local, you know, I've trained at a local woman-owned cycle studio called Live Cycle Delight in West Village, owned by Amina Daniels. And she had just sent out something this morning for some new packages. And I was like, gosh, I really need to get back into the gym.
I know. It's like, I'm like, what happened to you? I own a business. Leave me be.
Right. It was self-soothing. I'm calling it self-soothing. I was self-soothing. Exactly. So
I was like every local restaurant. I'm just like, I'm supporting you.
We're all in this together.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome.
To Motor City Women's Studios in the comments. So if people want to check you guys out, please do so. And I will look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, Emily. Happy Monday, everyone.
Yay. Cool. We would now like to welcome Kristen Barnes, who's the owner of Sweet Bean Chocolate, located in Cleveland, Ohio. Hey-o.
Hi.
How are you? I think it's funny that we were just talking about eating all the things and you own a chocolate company.
Yeah.
We're like,
great segue.
One for the customer.
Yeah.
so you've owned Sweet Beans since 2014, and you guys focus on handmade filled chocolates and single origin bean to bar chocolate with the occasional marshmallow or other confection, which I like that little like added detail in your about paragraph. I was like, oh, yay. That's like really cool. So give a little bit of background on like your business and like why you decided to start it and all that.
Sure, yeah. So chocolate, I mean, why not, first of all? But I really just needed a creative outlet. I had been working in the corporate world for 15 years and was finding myself a little bit bored. And I just wanted to do something more creative. And it actually started with a Groupon. I bought a Groupon and went to a local chocolate shop on a Saturday with a friend of mine, and we learned how to make chocolates, molded chocolates, from beginning to end. And at the end, you got to take home all the chocolates you made. And I loved it so much, I went home and told my husband, who was just my boyfriend at the time, like, oh my God, I had so much fun doing this. And so for Christmas, he bought me everything I needed to kind of start doing it as a hobby. So yeah, so it was.
He was like, "Thank you for that gift idea."
Yeah. Scratch that off the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I started just making candy, you know, because it was someone's birthday at the office, or because it was Valentine's Day or Christmas, and you know, then it became because it was Tuesday, or you know, why not? Let's just eat chocolate all the time.
Yeah.
And, we had lived away for a while, and we had moved back to the Cleveland area, and I hadn't seen many of my friends in a decade. So I really kind of wanted to figure out how can we bond again. So I invited people over to make chocolate for Christmas. And by this time we were on Facebook and Instagram. So here we are making all these fun, pretty little chocolates and posting them online. And people started saying, well, did you make that? It's beautiful. How can I get some? Where can I buy it? And that was the moment that I went, I think this will be my kind of ticket away from the desk and away from corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so had you started an LLC before starting a Facebook page, or did you just decide like, oh, like, you know, maybe eventually we'll do this or something, so I'm just going to start like the Instagram now?
Yeah. Actually, I started with a website and a Facebook page, and then things kind of snowballed very quickly. It was kind of like, once it was an idea, all of these opportunities popped up. I was trying to figure out, like, can I do this from my house? Where will I sell chocolates if I make them? And I found a local shared kitchen space where small businesses could go and work in a shared kitchen. It didn't work for me because there were too many bakers in the space, which makes it too hot for chocolate and too hot.
Oh, okay.
But just by visiting the space, I learned about all of the other businesses that were involved, where they were selling their chocolates. And I found out about like an incubator program that I could join. And it was like an 8-week incubator with other food businesses, where we started right at the beginning of how do you pitch your business? How do you market your business? What kind of things do you need to know about accounting, about the laws in the area? So, you know, and from there, it just kind of, the networking, which I know that Robin was just talking about, it just turned into, we became part of this small business community in Cleveland, where the other businesses you met led you to other opportunities.
Yeah, that is it. It is kind of, yeah, like knowing people that you can ask questions of, and like fellow business owners, because they always get where you're at and like are like, oh my gosh, that was the first time. Like,
yeah, like, oh, I dealt with that last month. Let me tell you what to do or who to talk to. And then we could support each other. We could partner and help each other in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, and finding just that local, like whatever industry you're in, like community, because it is like the local food community is its own thing with its own set of challenges, and like the local restaurant community is like its own thing. And so yeah, that is really, I find like really helpful with like my business too. It's just kind of, can you like move the camera around so we can see that? Wait, we can see like around your store? Wait, let me move myself so that you're.
Oh, whoa, there I am. Yep, so this is my shop. I'm trying to figure out, I think I'm backwards, so I'm going the wrong direction.
Oh, How do I make you be the? This is how I do it. Okay, there we go.
There I am. There's some chocolates.
Hey, it looks so cool. Look at all those chocolates.
Little fancy chocolate.
Pretty. That's awesome. I love that. That's so cool. And you have like other little things that you sell in the shop too. It looks like that's so cool.
Yeah, and I've also started, the shop's only been open since February. So even though I've been in business since 2014, that was kind of just a hobby and a side hustle until 2019. And then in February of 2021, we opened the studio finally. And so now I've brought in some other small businesses, and I'm looking for other small businesses that I can feature here because I know what it's like to not have an outlet or not have somewhere to sell your product.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. That is really cool. It does seem like small business owners too that have kind of also what Robin was saying of like, you know, the small business community kind of like supporting each other, and like you do see like all these small businesses that have brick and mortar shops like featuring other small businesses, and like they know who's good and like who's like really needs that like extra push and stuff. So that's why it's
we're all helping each other, right? We're all in this together.
Yeah. How did you find, like, I mean, you must have found things were really kind of good business during the pandemic, like everybody just eating some chocolate. Did you like, how was it for the last like 18
months? For us it was an interesting time because like I said, this business had been just a side hustle for so long, and then we decided like, let's jump off this cliff, let's open a shop, and the pandemic hit. So it was kind of like, I don't have a job anymore. I focus only on chocolate, but now everywhere I sell my chocolate has been closed down. I can't sell at local flea markets or farm markets. I can't do wedding events or corporate events because none of those things are happening. But we were lucky that we already had the online infrastructure to start selling our stuff online. And, you know, again, like you said, we're fortunate that during this time that we have kind of a happy, cheerful, self-soothing product. So a lot of people were ordering and sending to family they weren't able to see or able to spend the holidays with. So, you know, not only were we happy to have that business, but we were also happy that we could help, you know, spread a little joy, spread a little cheer.
Yeah, that is really nice. Like, because those kinds of things are like the things that I think got people through the pandemic, were like just those little, like being able to like reach out some kind of way.
Yeah. Early in the pandemic, we created a product we called a Candygram. And I partnered up with a local stationery person, and we made all these fun little cards that said like, I miss seeing your face. I hope this puts a smile on it. I actually did like porch drops. I would go to people's houses and knock on the door, you know, Candygram, and drop off a little package. So it was, it kind of felt like I was doing a good deed.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that is really like, oh, in like 10 years when we look back, we'll just be like, oh God, remember that time?
Right?
Crazy. I know. Like, already starting to be like crazy to think about. So where do people go? Like, what's the best way for people that don't necessarily live near you, really close to your shop, to like purchase from you guys?
Yeah, so if you're not local to our studio, we are also at 2 other local places in the Cleveland area. We're in Akron at the North Side Marketplace. And then we're also in Shaker Heights at the corner at Van Aken Market. But if you're not local to the Cleveland area at all, we do have a marketplace on Instagram and Facebook. So you can get to us right through our Facebook or Instagram pages, which are at Sweet Bean Candies. And then we're online as well at sweetbeancandies.com.
Sweet. We'll put, I was like, sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah, sweet. So we'll put the link to that in the comments so people can kind of like go and check that out, and then check out Facebook and Instagram too. I'll have to look at your Instagram anytime. I'm like, yeah, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then what advice would you give to someone that's maybe kind of was in your position and is like, I'm chained to the desk. This job sucks. Maybe I want to start my own business. Like, what would your advice be?
Yeah, I would say find what you love. I know it's so cliche, but really, like, just start doing what you love, and that passion, I think, will start to motivate you, and it'll motivate you to do what needs to be done to start a business. When I first got involved in this as a hobby, I'm not sure I knew I was going to start a business. I was just doing something I was interested in, and then that light bulb hit. But it wasn't instantaneous either. There was a lot of work and planning that had to go into it. But because I was so invested and passionate about it, I wanted to work for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. And that's like, looks like you guys are doing so great. And I'm so happy to hear that you had like just opened your store. Like 2021 is going to be like a big year for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. We have no idea what to expect.
I know. Well, people always like chocolate. So it's like, death, taxes, and chocolate. Except for when people don't like chocolate. And then you just know they're probably an axe murderer.
Right? I just, we have a chalkboard out in front of the store that we've been trying to find some fun things to write on it so that the drivers who go by can see something funny. And one of the quotes last week was, there are two types of people in this world, those who love chocolate and liars.
That's a funny thing to do, to like get messages on that board.
Yeah.
That's really funny. I like that. Well, cool. Well, we put sweetbeancandies.com in the comments, and it was great to meet you. And I'm definitely gonna have to get some of your candies soon. I love like when we have people on that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to check them out.
Sure. If you're in the area, come on down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, cool. Well, I will talk to you hopefully soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Cool. So before we bring on our final guest, I just want to remind everyone that after each episode, you have until Friday to both share the video and submit your favorite company to potentially receive $1,000 next week. And we're still accepting applications from companies who'd like to be featured on the show. So you can find the link to that also in the comments. So our last but not least, our final guest of the day is Aaron Jackson, who's the owner of Aaron Christopher Events, which is located in Flint, Michigan. Hey-o. I love a Flint, Michigan business.
Hello. How's everybody doing today? Happy Monday.
Yay. Aaron Christopher Events is an event company in Flint, Michigan. It was founded by Aaron in 2020. That is a bold move.
Yes, very much so.
Start the business. I feel like that's the way to do it. Like you're like, go big or go home. Their goal is to bring class culture. And as I love how I'm going to say like a Biggie comment and it's going to look ridiculous, but
it's all good. Everybody, it's all good. It's all good.
So it's as the Notorious B.I.G. said, style and grace. I love that. So they use their events not only for a good time and relaxing, but it's for networking, engaging in philanthropy, and most importantly, creating opportunities for community development, which is so awesome. So give a little background about like you and your business.
So Aaron Christopher Events, it started like right before the pandemic. I did event planning with a group previous for like 3 to 4 years, and then I branched off on my own. Everyone had got different jobs, but I wanted to continue to do it. So I said, what's the best way to do it? I was like, well, do it on my own, put my name on it, brand it, and then to bring my family in. So I work with my wife, my sister, and my sister-in-law.
Awesome. I love that. Family group, like I find family businesses to be so like you guys know each other so well and like everybody can kind of contribute in their own way and it creates such this awesome like family legacy that it's like
the family portion is awesome. It's also again family, so it's good to be able to do some of this and then you're not really too upset with each other, but it's all for a good cause. So that's what's great about it.
But your family must be like my family.
If any family's different, if any family doesn't argue, I don't know if I could call them family.
The liars. There's two types of people, like Chris.
Right? That's sweet being said. Yeah.
Who fight with their family and liars.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? So, like, you decided to start the business because you had this like great experience and you wanted to like be able to continue. Like, how has it been kind of like reimagining your business and kind of like as we're like during the last 18 months?
So, like, February was our first event. We did an R&B themed event at Blackstone's downtown Flint. And it was okay. It was a slow start, obviously, first event. But we were planning, obviously, for it to continue to grow, which it did. Yeah. So we went from probably about 75 to 100 people February to probably about 215 the next event. But that was the week before the shutdown. So in our mind, we're like, oh, we're perfect. We're getting everything set up for April, May, June, July. So we're building, and then we get hit with something like that. So now, like you said, it just it stopped, but it didn't stop because we were like, we're already on this road. So let's push each other, So that's what we did.
Yeah, that's so great. And are you like seeing now that we're kind of like coming out of it, are you seeing like people just starting planning a lot of the events that have kind of were put on hold from before, like weddings and like corporate events?
Yeah. Speaking of weddings, my sister ended up having like an October wedding with COVID restrictions. And we all did our best to abide by all of those rules. So we were actually able to do an outdoor event in August, which went well. Probably only about 100, 115. We followed protocols best as we could. Hand sanitizer, masks, social distancing. And then like with the sanitizer, like we will go throughout the events. And like I said, our biggest thing is safety because we have children to go back home to. So we were very safe. Temperature checks at the doors. We did the same thing for my sister's wedding as well. So we were just, planning events as safe as possible. So we were able to do an event in August, and then a bourbon tasting in September, and then
a bourbon tasting. That's really classy.
Yeah,
like that.
We try. So style and grace, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. I love
that.
Yeah, that's so great because it does seem like so many people are kind of now like, oh, like I wanted to have this wedding or this corporate event or this like get together at my store or whatever that like they couldn't do for so long. But I feel like everybody's just being like, okay, I want to plan something big. Like finally, we're kind of past this point. Like get everyone together again that we haven't seen in so long. So like
exactly,
like super busy now. And then, do you have any like big events coming up that are like open to the public that people might?
Yes. All of our events are open to the public. Our next event is August 29th, and it's a rose event. It's called Rose on the Roof. It'll be at the Flint Farmers Market, and it's a pink and white themed event, obviously centered around rose. So tickets will be $30, and it comes with an Alfredo bar. So every ticket will be included in the Alfredo bar. We also have different sections available that include, obviously, bottles of rosé, and then we also will have bottle service available as well. So that is our next large event, August 29th here in Flint, and it's open to the public.
Yeah, that's great. We'll have to we'll put the link to your website in the comments, and then like is it on there like that people can find out?
Yes. That right now the website is centered around that because that's our next largest event, and then it'll transition as we go. So when you do go on there, you'll see a video from one of our DJ versus battles we had this year. So like the internet, how they were taking two artists and allowing for them to go song for song. We did the same thing with DJs, local DJs. So they would have to go through different categories. So like R&B, hip hop, old school. And then I had a panel. We had a panel of judges that are music heads that would rate them from 1 to 5. And then, at the end of the night, they would get a trophy. And obviously everyone would get
That's paid. So fun.
It was great. That.
That's so fun. And I was looking like on your Facebook page, you can like look back through like past events you guys have had, and like they all look so fun. Like tons of people, like tons of like stuff going on. Like it was so good to see. Like I was like, yes.
Yeah. And like I said, that was we wanted to create an environment that everyone is comfortable in, right? And then again, another layer to it again is safety. With me being a City of Flint firefighter and EMT, that's my goal. Like, hey, I know like these are the things that make people feel comfortable. This is what will make our company stand out at this moment. So we made sure that all those things were cool, so people can feel okay coming in, because it was something we never figured would happen. So we were in the middle of it and kind of just paddling along and swimming and getting ideas from each other on ways to be safe.
Yeah, that's pretty much like I think every small business owner is like, okay, you just paddle along, and then you're like, and now this happened. Okay, paddle over this way.
Yeah. We wanted to tread. We didn't want to drown, so we were doing a lot of treading. So
yeah, that is like, oh, it's so crazy. But it seems like, you guys are doing so great in all of the events. And I will say that it's very apparent, like even on the flyers for like different events that you guys do, like the safety precautions are always listed on there, and like kind of the expectations and stuff. So it does seem like you guys like, I mean, you said it, but like it does seem like you guys are like really like safety conscious even still during this time. So that's great to see, because who knows? It's like, now they're talking about that Delta variant. I'm like, come on!
It's scary times. It's scary times. But I mean, sometimes what our goal is to do is obviously provide a quality event that can kind of, I mean, it's not going to remove that anxiety, but give you a couple hours of like, okay, maybe it is getting back to normal, or maybe it's not. But when I leave here, I'll worry about that then. But while I'm here, I'm having a great time.
Yeah, exactly. And then you guys have the things in place anyway with the temperature checks at the door and stuff like that. So like I feel like that gives people kind of a layer of security on everything.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Even with the bottle service, it allows for you not to have to be in line amongst a lot of people, so you can, get bottle service at your table. Group,
that's a good upsell. I feel like.
Yeah.
For your safety. That's like great. I like everyone needs just that amount of excuse too to get bottles. No, we gotta do this. COVID, right?
You have to.
I love that. That's so cool. The rose event sounds so fun too. I haven't ever had a lot of rose before, but I'm like, maybe I should start.
I think you should. August 29th is a great time to begin.
I know. That's true. What advice would you give to someone watching that's thinking about starting their own business?
Do it. I mean, 2020 was the year of entrepreneurs. I mean, you don't get a tougher landscape than that. Mm-hmm. So if I can do it, I feel that anyone can. I mean, I'm not anyone different. We're able to overcome obstacles. Like I said, I applaud everyone who began or who continued their entrepreneurial side during 2020. I mean, it was just, like I said, unprecedented, but a lot of people emerged through it. So things are loosening up. And I mean, I think it's just a great opportunity to do it and be able to leave a legacy for, you and your family. I mean, like I said, for myself, I'm a firefighter, been there 5 years, but my thing is I can't leave the fire department to my two sons. No matter how, even if I become the chief, it doesn't ensure that my children will be chief of the fire department, but I can leave my company to them, something that they can build if that's what they want to do, and things like that.
Yeah, Flint's got a really great entrepreneurial scene too. I was just recently talking to Corinthian Carruthers, who's the founder of Creative Hair School, Creative Hair School of Cosmetology, I think is what it's called. But she was like saying the same thing. She started the company, and then like her daughter and son, and they're in Flint. Her daughter and son like both work for the company too, and it's just like this great family business. And it is kind of this huge legacy of like people in their family like work at their business, and they're all like so good, and they bring different skill sets. And like her son does a lot on like the finance side and the operations side, and her daughter is like becoming more of the face of the company, as she's like be able to step back and kind of do some of her things. So I love to see like family owned businesses. It's so
Yeah,
great.
yeah, it's been great. It's been great so far. We're just, like I said, just still learning and building, and we're grateful to have opportunities like this. That we're reaching the Midwest now, so
yeah. And so, how do people work with you that are located? Like, so you're open. You guys do events, and you're open to doing events kind of outside of the Flint region, anywhere in the Midwest. But what are the best?
We have right on our website. You can go to contact us, reach out to us through that, explain what it is that you want to do, and we'll have a conversation, and then we'll figure out what it is that we can do and how we can provide the best service possible.
That's great. And it's is it aceevents.vip? Is that the website?
Yes. Okay. Yes, aceevents.vip.
Yeah, we'll put it in the comments so anybody that is planning an event or wants to have like a great event can contact you guys. And you guys do and you do like all of the you guys handle like everything from like the flyers to like what happens
everything
at the timeline.
Yep. And all that. Everything. Look, the whole logistics. That's something that we're looking to branch off to to get into like corporate planning. Similar to like the world's greatest office parties, things like that. Those are our goals. Part of our goals. So yeah, we'll handle from top to bottom. We have a whole team of creatives, and that's what we'll do.
That's awesome. You also have so many fans in the comments.
Do I really?
Yeah, people are like, I love this. Me too. So great. And they're like, it's so great. This is a great interview.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you.
That's awesome. So thank you so much for joining. Everyone can go to aceevents.vip to learn how to work with you more. I would definitely encourage people to check out your Facebook. We'll put that in the comments too. Or people can click on the link. It will link up the description of this. But to check out photos from past events, and so people can really see how awesome the events you guys put together are. I'm so happy that you joined today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for selecting us. We really appreciate it.
Yay. Okay. I will hopefully see you soon at something cool.
I hope so too. Take care, Emily.
Okay, bye. So big thank you to Motor City Woman Studios, Sweet Bean, and Aaron Christopher Events for joining today, and congratulations again to Estella's Vegan Dessert Boutique for winning last week. Well, I guess I shouldn't say winning. Favorite business ever. So thank you also to DTE Energy Foundation, Lightship Capital, and Jobs Ohio, and other sponsors across the Midwest for supporting this special edition. And thank you all for watching the Cackle today. And remember to select your favorite business from today. You need to share this episode, and you also to help spread the word about these businesses, and then submit the name of the favorite local business using the link in the description of the video. And then the link will be open until this Friday. So between now and this Friday, share away and vote away. And then the selected company will be announced at the start of next week's episode. So this Wednesday, I'm super excited. On our regular episode of The Cackle, we're welcoming Navin Goyal, who's the founder and CEO of Loud Capital. Really interesting dude. He's used to be a physician, turned venture capitalist, and is all about kind of doing well by doing good. So next Monday, so we'll be featuring him right here on social media on Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. And then next Monday, we'll be back here to celebrate 3 more Midwest small business owners. So thank you all, and I will see you all on Wednesday.